In the early hours on August 11th, Fort St. John fire crews responded to two separate reports of vehicle fires. The fires happened at 104A Avenue and 115th Avenue and were started within a half hour of each other. Dan Davies of the BC Liberal Party is excited to get back to work after being re-elected as the MLA. He got 56.3% of the region's votes, beating out BC Conservative Party leader Trevor Bolin. The FSJ curling and soccer clubs have announced a new 5-year partnership. This is good news for both groups who weren't sure what was going to happen with their upcoming seasons. If hands-free isn't an option and you receive an important phone call or text message, people are advised to pull over and turn off their cars before answering or replying. This will protect you and everyone on the road from a possible accident. For more information on Distracted Driving Month, you can visit the BC RCMP's website. Sean Marks, CJDC TV News, Fort St. John. At the end of August, the Lone Wolf Golf Club held a weekend tournament in honor of its silver anniversary. Head golf pro Larry Ramstad has worked at the club for the past decade and was happy with the turnout.
We offered $25 green fees for the whole weekend. So basically it was half-price green fees. So we were fairly busy with that and did probably close to 150 to 200 rounds per day over the weekend. So it was really well attended for sure.
Ryan Galley is the club's general manager and was excited to help celebrate the milestone. However, they had to tone down the celebrations because of current circumstances.
We were hoping to do a really big fundraiser and event and have maybe a band and movies and stuff, but obviously those plans kind of got shut down when COVID became such a big impact this year.
Despite some speed bumps caused by the pandemic, the course still saw a great season.
Membership went down a little bit this year because of COVID, but the amount of green fees and the players are actually up, so it's actually been nice to see it growing in this part of the world where can't say that about golf in a lot of areas.
Fortunately, golfers still have a few events to look forward to before the season ends. They're hosting a charity day this Friday, as well as their annual club championship on Saturday and Sunday. To round off the season, they're holding a year-end event on September 19th.
We're going to put a 4-person scramble event going on that day. So that'll be just a nice thank you to the membership. They'll come out, play golf, a nice little meal afterwards, and yeah, exactly, just a nice thank you for them.
The course will stay open until Thanksgiving, and Galley wants golfers to make the most of the remaining days.
Come on out, play a round or two before we close for the season, and we'll work hard through the winter to get a lot of fun events ready for next year.
For more information, you can visit their website at lonewolfgolf.ca. Sean Marks, CJDC TV News, Taylor. Old Fort is located 5 minutes outside of Fort St. John and is one of the longest-standing communities in British Columbia. In 2018, there was a landslide that happened just outside the community and took out the only road in or out. That landslide was reactivated this past June and resulted in an evacuation alert for its residents. Scott Campbell has lived in the community for over 20 years and is concerned about what it means moving forward.
It's been a huge hit on the value of our houses and that type of thing, and the difficulty in selling them has magnified.
Campbell says there hasn't been a home sold in Old Fort since before the first slide.
And there was one listed, one foreclosed on. Those were both taken off the market. There's one piece of property for sale down here, but it's not really a fair listing.
Mark Holm is a realtor in FSJ and says the property values have reached an all-time low.
The houses have dropped 75%, and I don't even know if that's an accurate number. That's just more of a probably realistic. There's a buyer for every home, but you know it is what it is. There is no buyers for that area right now.
One of the last properties homes sold in Old Fort was nearly 5 years ago.
It went for $1.4 million. I couldn't see anyone paying more than $500 for that house.
Campbell hopes things will look up for him and the other residents, but doesn't think it'll happen anytime soon.
There's always some value left in property because somebody's going to buy something for some price, so it's a matter of trying to set that price. Appraisals are usually on a market value of comparable sales. There's not been any in this area at all. And it's going to be hard to recommend it for people.
The old fort has been around for over 200 years, and its residents would like to see it stick around for a few hundred more. Sean Marks, CJDC TV News, Fort St. John. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Sean Marks. The conversation on police accountability continues to grow, leaving many wondering why body cams aren't mandatory in the province. As CJDC's Laura Kraus reports, many people in the Peace region have the same opinion. The COVID-19 pandemic has exposed ugly cracks in the system that provides long-term care for BC seniors. Multiple private and public care homes failed to keep the virus from getting inside and failed again repeatedly to stop it from spreading and killing our most vulnerable citizens. For the next 3 nights, CTV's Allison Hurst investigates what went wrong and what needs to change. The Fort St. John Flyers are hoping to put a team back on the ice for the 2020-21 season. As CJDC's Austin Lee reports, the team's search for players is underway.